First. Do it first. Because it's the most important thing we have.
That's
tonight.
not what she said.
No, it's
but
not.
she said.
That's what I heard.
That's what she thought.
That's what I
That's
thought.
just what
That's
I
what she
heard.
thought inside.
Yeah. Well, clearly she did.
What did you think
that was
you
her
thought
first,
she heard?
That was her first thought.
Yeah, but she said, for the sake of the people there,
yeah.
she said, so that these guys can take off, which was, again,
Very nice,
so
yeah.
nice, very kind. And boom. Good to be back with you.
Oh, thanks.
Good to be back with you. Good to be back with you. And we are on number 42. Is that rhyming? Good to be back with you. Good to be back with you. We're on episode 42.
On to episode 42.
There you go.
And everything that we say on this podcast will be true. Okay, on to what do we got going on this week?
Well, we've got
Nobody
some-
wants to hear me continue to do that stuff.
No. That rhyming stuff won't go very far.
I'm not a poet.
We have some things that we know we're going to do, and then we have some secret things that we're going to all of a sudden just surprise you.
Surprise.
I knew you'd say that. We're not going to have the Wonder Wheel this week. We're going to have that a little break. Drew's back with
Idaho State
Fun Facts.
Everything that we do Meso-Mani-wise, site-wise, and Wisconsin Science Weekly.
Yep, that's all going to be here. So don't fret, don't worry. And but we have a couple of secrets. Let's see if we could for just a second. Let's see if we can just talk about, well, first, let's get the first one out of the way. We're going to have a special guest.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's a secret.
It sure is.
And we'll tell you who that is.
Still working out the details.
When you join us.
Working out the deeds.
The Wednesday podcast. But let's see if we can just give them a little bit without giving it away. Now, this will be hard. And we're doing this on the spot. So this new feature that we're having as part of our podcast, it's smaller than a bread box, or about the size of a bread box. It is, what else can we say
Weighs
about
less than
it?
10 pounds.
Weighs less than 10 pounds. See if you can guess. And we're maybe only going to give a couple more because otherwise we're not that good on our feet. We're going to end up giving it away, and then people are going to say, you gave it away.
It's kind of a silverish blue color.
It's kind of a silverish blue color. Let's see if I can think of something else. You know what? Nothing comes to mind right now, so maybe we better stop because we might give it away. But that gives you a little something to think about.
Its name starts with an R.
Okay.
That's not going to help anybody out.
No, but that's fine. It gives them a little sneak
Insight,
peek,
yeah.
a little, and it'll be fun. It'll be, and it should be kind of a regular feature of ours as part of the Wisconsinites Weekly. That first part, Meso-Mani site-wise, and then this feature updates most weeks. So there you have it.
I don't know when we're going to put it in the podcast, but it'll be in there somewhere. So keep your eyes peeled for that extra segment. So on to 42 we go. We're shipping out. Let's do it right now.
Let's do it.
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
Episode 42. 42.
And counting.
And counting. The original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast. My name's Todd. Big John up at the table. Hudson is here. We're all here. Drew's here. Joe's here. And you're here. That's the most important thing. We got a lot to cover, so I'm not going to talk like I normally do, even though I know people like that because they don't say it. So anyway, go ahead.
Quietly, they like it.
Yep.
Secretly.
Oh,
Well,
Hudson's
Dad-
hydrating right now.
Got to. I heard you can't do a podcast without properly hydrating.
Once you lose it, you never get it back.
Dad's got his coffee here. Did you want
Can I
that?
have that?
Sure can. 1855.
1855 coffee house mug.
Well, as Dad said, this is episode 42. Thank you for joining us. We got two couch potatoes. We got an informational desk guy, and we've got the two mainstays up here. This time we're sitting.
Some of us are kind of dressed up this time. I got jeans. Joe's got jeans. He's got his. Is there some sort of vest he can wear? Mm-hmm. He's got that on.
You got jeans.
I got a
Dad's
nice
I'm the
brand
only
new.
one not
Look
dressed
at
up.
here. Look at
Yeah,
here.
we can get a zoom. Man, you don't. That's
See,
not that big a
he's
deal.
the only one
This is West Bend
that kind
Bonds.
of works outside the home now.
Yeah.
John is full-time VO marketing pro. Drew is basically running the bonds department. Well,
Yeah, me and a few others.
see a few other people
Drew
at
Bonds.
West Bend. That's
But
very nice.
This
very
is for
attractive.
this is for attractive. This is for we hit 20 million in the bonds department this last year,
Subscribers?
which is quite a bit. So
I
Is that
hope Vom
kind of
hits
a
that
fleece in
next
there?
year?
yeah,
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
that's what it
Very
is. It's a
soft and
pullover.
nice.
Or my business. That'd be fun.
Congratulations.
That's great. That would
Yeah,
be,
it was
can you
huge.
imagine how hard you'd have to work
Some people more interested in that.
if you hit 20 million?
We're kind of having a podcast
within the
During-
podcast
during,
there,
yeah.
during a podcast here.
Separate. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with Joe.
Okay, we got Wisconsin Lions Weekly. Thursday, this is for the boys basketball team who is 7-8. They
Do you
play.
mind looking right at the camera while you do this?
They play.
I'm just kidding.
They
Don't have
play
to do that.
Thursday, January 26th, at Cambridge, 7:30.
Are these the right dates?
Correct dates.
Okay, because last week we had to change it out because they weren't the right dates. Damon had to look them up.
Somebody's got to get their act together then.
Yeah, somebody.
Then
who
they
owns this
play. Well, it's kind of tough to get them right when everybody's interrupting.
but nobody
we
was
play-
interrupting you when you were writing down the dates.
How do you know?
True.
That's fair.
And
That's true.
And there's also there's also
do you
this
know?
thing called a calendar on there that you could look up.
No, because you said I can't touch the
You're
computer.
right. I told. Yep, that's me.
So then on Friday, February 3rd, they play at home against Belleville, 7:30.
Wildcats.
Yep. They are looking for their first conference win
Oh,
of the year.
ouch!
Who are?
How many conference
The
games
girls
have they
are?
played?
3. This is the
Oh,
boys.
threes.
Boys? Okay.
Yep. And then leading scorers, Jacob Brabender, 12.9 points per game. Caden Kennedy, 12.6 points per game.
Ooh, sneaking up.
And then John Vosberg, 9.5 points per game.
Wow. Spreading around the
I
wealth.
don't remember this for sure, but wasn't it flipped for a while right at the beginning? Maybe I think John was scoring a little higher than Caden. No, Caden's
Yeah,
kind of
Caden's kind of done a
He's
reversal.
taking
He's a
Second.
second half guy.
He's done a reversal there and been given some points.
2, I think, for the reversal, right?
Yep, I believe so. I
It's
think
the
that's
wrong
how it's
sport.
scored.
Yeah. Ask Dan O'Connell about that.
Yep. And then the girls' side of basketball, they are 3-10. They play.
Searching for their 4th win.
Yep. They play Thursday, February 2nd, at home against Waterloo, 7:30. And then they play Tuesday, February 7th, so the day before our podcast comes out
Okay.
that week. They play at Marshall at 7:30. And then just some stats. Emily Van Netripper is 13.1 points per game and 6.8 rebounds per game, and she's no longer the assists leader or in the top 2. So there's that.
Coach told her to shoot more. Don't worry about passing. Just we'll get somebody else to dish you the ball. Just worry more about shooting.
Is this okay to talk about this? That Scott Moore, who is the elementary principal of the new Wisconsin Heights Elementary School, his daughter is having a birthday, and mom's making cookies
Yep.
right now. Well, she's
She's
got them
turning
finished.
10. She's turning 10.
She's turning 10.
Yep.
And,
Mom.
and no, mom's
Not
mom's
turning
older
10.
than
No,
that.
Lily
That's
Moore is,
good.
Scott Moore's
is
daughter.
turning 10.
Scott Moore's daughter is turning
Happy
10.
birthday.
Happy birthday. And she's getting homemade cookies from
Yep. She's
Lavar's.
having a
family.
How good
She's having a
mom's
big party,
cookies
too.
are.
Oh.
I hope they enjoy it.
I
It's
hope they invite us.
I'm
That's how
surprised.
good
nice.
the cookies are.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't invite us to come over. Sometimes you invite like a clown or a magic show. They should have invited the podcast. So we could have had a live podcast for their
Listen,
birthday party.
listen.
They would have been
Listen,
hiring
listen.
clowns. You're right.
It's true.
Listen, that
I have a
starts
big
to
nose.
head into
Clowntown.
a perfect silky segue to
I didn't even know.
nasal
Are you
mini
done
side. We're
now?
going to bring
I am
that
done.
up.
You mean sight-wise?
Yeah.
let me say,
Yeah.
Were you going to bring that
Oh,
up that I'm
well,
talking about?
no, I figured that's been your
Okay, we gotta,
brainchild.
okay, we got to bring that up because you just hold on to that for a second
I'm
because
holding.
we said that we could do live, podcasts from locations, and we might be doing that. It'll be taped, so it won't be live, but we'll be on location.
Yep.
So that comes up right after this. That's a tease. Go ahead,
Nice.
Johnny.
Just a reminder, you'll see on the Chamber of Commerce, I believe it is the website, that there are deals going on for local businesses, and so check that out. I did some sauna stuff over at I think it's Reiki Element place, and she's got other things that she does for people that have back issues and things like that, and she's offering, I believe it is 5 sauna sessions 6 for 5, the price of 5. So you get one for free.
And you're pretty
there's
sure
other
of
ones that
that?
go on. I'm pretty sure about
Okay,
that.
we
Yep.
shouldn't put our disclaimer up here.
Well, maybe you should.
Put the
You never
disclaimer
know
up there just in
with
case
me.
so we don't get
We haven't
sued.
used that in a long time.
I know, because we've
That's
got
true.
the information desk.
It's true because
But
we're,
anyway, you think
yeah.
that there's some deal that she's
Yep, her
she's
name is
giving.
Kay.
Mm-hmm.
And she just mentioned that there are other deals that are going on that happen, and they're posted there, or they're posted, I believe, on what's happening in Mazo as well. So just check that out.
And Mazo Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, yeah, correct.
Can
Yep.
you use your Mazo bucks
Oh.
from Christmas?
Yes,
Can
you
you
can.
use those,
Yep.
I'll bet?
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
You
You know.
can from there. Yep.
Have you found
There.
out if they are more powerful than the U.S. dollar?
Strong.
So that
I think
you
it
could-
is. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
gotta be.
It wouldn't take much.
No.
no
So-
inflation on those
Yeah.
Mazo
So that's
bucks.
just a reminder to check that out. Those deals are going on. I don't know how many people know about those things. I didn't know about them until
I didn't either.
that, or
That's
then
what-
it's been posted on the what's happening in Mazo. But just bring that to your attention that there are local businesses that are offering deals. So check that out.
And that's what you're here for, is
Yep.
to bring that stuff to light.
Bring that to
That's
their attention.
exactly what
Yep.
we needed.
Hey,
That's
what
huge.
is the Tap House? They have like a Thursday night.
The Iron Hop Tap House has trivia on Thursday nights.
Right.
Yeah, every Thursday night.
Yeah. And then every once in a while, they have live music on Friday nights, I think.
They do, yes.
And so does the Apothecary from time
really?
to time. Yep.
Nice.
The point being is there's a lot of stuff in Mazo that you can do. Just check,
Yeah.
the Facebook, what's happening in Mazo.
And if you're not from Mazo and you're driving through Mazo, make sure you go down to the historic downtown.
Yeah.
If you're watching this driving by somehow,
It's not on the main
Stop
drag
down.
like some of
Yeah.
the other towns that are around here that set up perfectly that you're going through kind of a main thoroughfare. You now come down, you have to come down, turn off of 14, either right or left, depending on which direction you're going. And there are some nice places to eat and places to check out there. And there are other places around.
The
place
cities
area.
around here, like probably many other American cities, were built around the train.
Yep.
Train
The
depot,
railroad.
the railroad,
Depot, yep.
which
yesteryear.
Frank Wolf probably would talk a little bit
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
So
good
anyway, not necessarily built around highways
Correct.
because they weren't.
Those
built
were the
at that
highways
time.
back then.
There you
You're
go.
right.
There you
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
the
nice.
major
Oh,
thoroughways.
that's
Highways of the-
Thoroughways.
Of the old days.
Throughways.
Yep. Anyway, that's all I got for Mazo site wise
No,
Thorough.
what is it? The byway
on my end.
Yeah.
along the byway.
So, John,
Thoroughfare.
or
And a little
Drew,
breadth of a growing nation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Drew mentioned Frank Wolf.
Yeah.
Now, why did Drew mention Frank Wolf?
it
Does
must have
anybody know?
something to do with this podcast.
He's been okay to be a part of the podcast.
Yeah, but let's make sure that they understand the whole story. Remember last week we talked about
We just teased it.
Harris Brando and I heading down to the Mazo Historical Society to meet with the board. Monday night, a rainy night, we went down there and we met with the board. What a nice, warm welcome. Seriously, we received.
Standing O, probably.
No,
Oh,
but they
basically.
were glad to see us, and they gave us chairs to sit down. And they and listen to this. Listen to this. Judy Curtis, friend of our podcast,
Yep.
Fan.
and
Avid.
person and influencer, Mazomania influencer.
That's true.
She's on the board. Guess what she did? Boom! Right after they called the meeting to order, Mr. Zudi, who's the chairman, calls it to order right away. Judy, on the spot, says, "I vote that we put the original
Father,
Father-Son voiceover podcast to the top
First. Do it
First.
first. Because it's the most important thing we have.
That's
tonight.
not what she said.
No, it's
but
not.
she said
That's
That's what I heard.
That's what she thought.
That's what I
That's
thought.
just what I
That's what she
heard.
thought inside.
Yeah. Well, clearly she did.
What did you
because
think
was
you
her
thought she
first-
heard?
That was her first thought.
Yeah, but she said, for the sake of the people
Sorry,
there,
yeah.
she said so that these guys can take off, which was again
Very nice,
so
yeah.
nice, very kind, and boom. Right away, all in favor. Everybody voted unanimously. Put
I even said
the
aye.
original father-son voiceover podcast to the top.
Well, it's nice because you guys have such a busy social life
Yeah.
outside of it that you
yeah,
you
we had
can't
to go and meet with other people
Yep,
that night.
there's
Well,
so
that was
many things
good
that you
because
got going
security
on.
you were able to get it in there early so that the security was able
They
to
actually-
take care of people so there wasn't such a big hubbub down there of
Yeah.
such
Yeah. We got rid of
infamous
the,
people.
The paparazzi
Infamous.
was gone, and they actually closed off the main road there just so we could get
And
there.
that also breaks the famous proverb of it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It doesn't take a long time.
proverb.
Yeah, and it was really nice that it was raining so hard because typically when we go out somewhere, there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
say, "Hey, there's the podcast guys," and they come running up, kind of storming us, and that's one of the things I appreciate about the people in Mazo. They just treat us like we're just normal people.
Yeah, we just want. We are.
Like they
normal
don't even
people.
watch the podcast. They
Yes.
pretend. They pretend like they don't even watch the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were there, and Bob Dodsworth was there. He's going to I'm so excited. He's going to actually be our first guest.
Oh, wow.
Bob Dodsworth.
Because-
I went to school with his oldest daughter, Ann.
Okay.
We were classmates. And here's the first question I'm going to ask him, because I think
How's Ann?
no,
Oh.
I think that Bob moved. He and his wife and family moved here like in the early 60s. They weren't originally from here. And I want to find out where they were from. And I want to find out why in 1965 did you organize the Mazo Historical Society?
For us.
I don't think you were even here. But he did that for us. And
Yeah.
he's been on the board or doing stuff. He's been doing
Since
a lot
65,
of stuff.
yeah.
Since 1965. Anyway, Bob Dodsworth was there, and Mr. Zudi was there. Johnny Wick was there. Judy Curtis was there.
The two. Is it Rita? You say Rita?
Rita Frakes was there. I know I'm going to miss somebody.
Any Shackletons?
Nope. Frank Wolf was there.
Okay.
And I'm missing. Judy Howard was there.
And then one other.
And there were two other gentlemen that I wasn't familiar with. They introduced themselves and they were real friendly. But anyway, we were glad to be able to be there. And they voted that they talked quite a bit, and they voted
to keep it.
And they voted in favor of having Frank come on, but also Bob, and maybe
be
some
first.
others.
Yep.
And they also, Judy said that she liked how we had Dick Royston on here, and we
Yes.
talked about the
Yep.
all the businesses down there
Yep.
and who was there, and they wanted to. They'll either get that from us
We
or
gave
we'll
it
do
to 'em
another
already.
one. Great.
Gave it to them
We
already
gave it
so
to
they could
'em
archive it.
So they can archive it
Nice.
for their records and stuff like that.
So guess who is in the Mazomania archives?
These guys.
The original father-son voiceover podcast with Dick Royston.
Wonder if
We went on his coattails again. Another
What's
time
that
where we
thing that
rode
you,
his coattails.
That you what's that thing that you dig? Like a
That's
whole,
a time capsule.
Time
like
capsule.
Drew has
Yeah,
down
maybe
at the
we'll be in a
Mazomania.
time capsule.
1999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait. 49.
So anyway, Frank Wolf, who wrote a book, and we called the boom time of Mazomania, the boom town of Mazomania. I'm going to get a copy of that, and we're going to have him on, but we're going to have Bob Dodsworth first. But don't be alarmed, because right now what we're doing, and I won't keep talking about this, but I'll end right now with the fact that we're getting new cameras soon, upgrading, always moving forward. Podcast is always moving forward, upward and onward. And that's going to help us be able to have guests on for longer times. And that's what we especially want to do with the Historical Society people, because then we can talk more and let them talk more and tell us the history of Mazo. So
Not break
that'll
up.
not
break-
break it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, into
Their
segments.
train of thought sometimes is boom, it's right there, it's fresh.
And we don't want to have to do maybe two parts if we don't have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes because of our cameras and the situation.
It just be one.
It is
part.
what it is, but we're moving on up. We said, see you later, cameras.
Yep.
And we've got another thing to talk about.
Yeah.
You've got you were talking about it. You had said it
Teasing
before,
it.
Yeah.
John. Yeah.
The 1855 coffee house. Michelle Van Schindig down there. We've been talking, communicating about.
Her people and your people.
Yeah, communicating about. No,
Her agent,
actually,
our agent.
she's so down to earth. she just will talk right with
Wow.
you. You don't have to get an appointment.
That's special.
Just got to buy coffee.
go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk to Michelle Van Shindig.
Yeah, go ahead and talk.
Go ahead and talk to her.
So we did talk with her, and we're getting a date, and we're going to be taping. We actually are going to be taping a taste test down there.
On
We're taking-
campus.
Yep.
1855
This is
on
news
campus.
to me. I didn't know this.
And here's the thing. At this point, we can't tell the viewers when we're going to do it because it's a storm. It would be a storm down there.
Yep.
Probably do it before hours.
We're
I would
doing it
think.
after
Whoa, whoa,
hours.
whoa, whoa.
We're,
We can't tell. You just said we weren't going to tell them, and now you told them.
What did I?
Well, but
when-
sometime
you said,
after
but it'll be-
hours.
Not the day.
What are their
it'll be-
hours?
Yeah,
we
we're not
don't
going to
want
tell them
people
the
in the
day.
Yeah, but there
windows.
might be people staying there after hours, and
Wow.
Michelle's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you guys got to get."
You
but-
know what? When I went by there this last week, there were people with tents out there and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They weren't homeless people. I
They
think
were,
they had heard.
They were
that
holding
we
up
might-
signs. I thought they were rioting and picketing, but they actually had our faces on them and stuff.
Which
So
some
anyway,
people might
we
think is
are
rioting
going
and
to.
picketing.
What's that?
If you have our face on something that big, they might think it's rioting and picketing.
Yeah, yeah. So we are going to be going down there for the taste test. I think
sure
we
are.
talked about it last time, and we'll of course let you know when that happens. But we are thinking about toying with the idea of, if that goes well, maybe doing that in other places. Maybe local places will say, "Hey, come on in and do your podcast live in front of
yeah.
a live audience." We'll tape it there. It won't be live, but
Well, we might be able to do live at some point.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
been not that it's going to be soon, but we've talked about wanting to do a live show
Yeah.
at some point.
bring the wheel, the Wonder Wheel along.
get some.
Whoa!
Get some people involved. From the crowd.
Yeah, yeah. We
Can you maybe turn that off?
No, I can.
Oh,
Did you?
Anyway,
He muted it.
You muted it?
God.
Yeah.
Okay, I muted it too.
This is a little technical difficulty.
I don't know what was going on there, but anyway,
I think that to me, that's big news. The Mesoamerican
Well, and it's
Historical
kind of our
Society.
first paid sponsorship because they're paying us in food.
Yeah,
but
well,
we are
yes.
buying it.
Then they're not paying us in food.
well, that's not true.
That's not true.
We have talked with her about giving us water,
Oh, okay.
and so we're getting free water.
Nice.
Bring it from
There.
the creek.
Yep.
The tap.
So thanks.
That's not
Nice.
true.
So
They don't
thanks
do
to
that.
the Meso Historical
They bring
Society
good,
Board.
clean water.
Thank you. And thank you to Michelle for being ready to have us come down there. And we're going to get a date for us. One last thing. I noticed that the stocking caps are still down there by the depot, the library. And if you need one, take one.
Just gotta
What-
raise some
what
snow.
happened?
I noticed that too. I get ridiculed.
Did they
for-
take down the decorations?
No, they
for
put the lights. They put
decorations
them back
and all that
up.
kind of
Okay.
stuff.
How about
And so
They're
I just
still
didn't want
down
to
there is the
I know.
point.
I know, but have they?
I will say
but
something.
But the direct decorations, you did that 3 weeks in a row.
Well, I didn't remember. So
He's got 2 more weeks
How many
with the
weeks,
hats.
Johnny, how many weeks did it take you to remember it after the third time?
I can't
Did
remember.
you
where I
actually?
put my
Did
phone.
you actually go down and check, or did you just keep
First
that
time.
same
Which one?
for the
The
lights?
lights? I think I just forgot that I mentioned it.
Misremembered.
I was gonna say though, Valentine's Day is coming up.
And
That's my birthday.
What's the difference?
But also, DG has all sorts of
Dollar General.
all sorts of candy.
Dollar
for
General.
DG, Dollar General. Yep. Katie Blair Shear
Yep, she works there in the
works
evenings.
there. She does.
She was telling
Alumnus of the podcast.
she was telling me 2 nights ago, so that would have been Wednesday.
Sure,
Yeah,
would have been.
Wednesday, which was the
17th.
18th.
18th.
right?
18th, yep.
There's a guy that came in, almost hit a black lab that was on Hudson, on far west Hudson,
Hudson
and they were
Street,
asking who.
Came
Whose
into
dog-
DG?
No, the guy did.
Yeah, but no, he came into DG.
The guy
Yeah.
did.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And he mentioned to her, asking if they knew whose dog it was. I don't know why he assumed that. Whatever. Just
But he
good
almost hit it?
Samaritan.
Yeah.
Almost hit it.
Oh.
Yep. I guess he had it, or he was gonna go find it, and she was gonna take it in for the night because she couldn't.
Wow.
and
Katie?
she posted it on what's
for you,
happening in
Katie.
Mazo, and then she said that she was gonna stay down at her place
Wow.
of business. Second chapter.
Second chapter
Yeah.
resale.
Second
Probably
chapter
was
resale.
looking
Wow.
to
And she was
sell
gonna
the
stay over there
dog.
overnight.
Second chapter.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Second
can sell
chance.
second
No, that
chance.
was not.
She's
To
doing
defend
it out of
her,
the goodness of her heart.
She was
watching.
selling
She
the
was,
dog.
she was being very good, very nice.
Yep.
He had to buy
And,
it back.
Hey,
Well, it's
Listen,
the bounty
you-
for it.
you be nice.
You'd be
Keeping
nice.
it in her shop, and I think she was gonna spend the night there with it.
Wow.
So
That is very
talk
nice of
about
her.
a
Hopefully,
good mesomaniac.
hopefully somebody
here it is right here.
Yep.
On what's
we'll
happening
have
in
Damon
Mason.
find it for us. We'll,
Yeah,
nice.
it's a
Can you-
beautiful lab.
Do you want to screenshot that?
Not sure if
I don't know
I'll
how
find
to.
it. I'll
I'm
do
not
it.
sure if it's
That's
still
fine.
out
Man.
there.
What
or
day
what
was that she said
thought it was
that?
Wednesday,
that
but
still
maybe-
on Wednesday?
Boy, this guy must have been. You said black lab, but he looks like a
He's
yellow
a-
lab.
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like
Well,
Well,
It was black in the dark.
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to rub you better.
Anyway, so just saying the
That's got a little
kind-hearted
handkerchief.
people.
That was very nice
Wait,
of
wait,
her.
is that the same one? You think that looks like a different dog? It looks like she found another dog.
Well, maybe those dogs are selfish.
Maybe Katie's a dog catcher, just going around.
Yeah.
Of course, she's around the area, so she's seeing all these
Yeah.
dogs running
I
wild.
just thought it was good.
very
Feral
nice of her.
dogs.
It
I
was
thought it
very
was
nice
good.
of her.
People,
Thanks,
Yeah.
Katie.
Yep.
She found somebody's dog who
Public
who
service.
knows
Almost
it
got
can be
hit.
lost. Yeah.
Yep.
Glad it didn't get hit. That's
So,
no fun.
you're-
Public business owner,
Yep.
public servant.
Yep.
Katie Blair Shear,
Alumnus.
Yep.
alumnus of the original
Original
Father Son
Father Son
voiceover.
voiceover.
And
we've-
DG
cashier,
Worker.
worker.
does a
We
good
gotta,
job
we
there.
gotta, we gotta get
We
on
had
this.
some important news. Are we done?
Yeah.
Can we close that up?
Yep.
All right. I think it. Wait. Well, maybe we'll have time after. We'll have time after this. I think. I was just going to mention our guest because we didn't know if we were going to have him on
Oh yeah,
during our commercial.
yeah.
So we do have a guest. He confirmed. It is Ryan Doescher. He works at
Olsen too.
Olsen
Tune,
Tune.
he does.
Thank you.
Or as his buddy Demond, our audio visual guy, calls him Dash.
Dash.
That must
There's-
be his nickname. I
so
didn't know it
he's-
was.
Demond's
just a name.
21,
22
22, and Dash is
in his 40s.
He might be
That's what kind
twice
of
as old as
relationship he has
Demond.
with a
Yeah.
guy that's
I
twice
know
his
that's
age.
Dash. I mean, he's so nice.
He's so down to
He's
earth.
gonna
So
he's
nice.
gonna bring some pictures, right, of his
Yeah,
of
yeah,
his building that he
yep.
built, his
I gotta make sure he does.
house or shop
Yep.
house, whatever you
Yeah,
want to call it.
beautiful, beautiful.
It
home.
is. It's awesome.
Yep.
So anyway, I wanted to just set the table for that.
Nice.
And now we've got something that we talked about that is must see
Gotta
TV.
You got me muted.
Did you start it already? Sorry if I. That's not it.
Is it going to play?
That's
Technical
kinda, that's
difficulties.
Kind of fun. That's all right. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Roy, 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 Roy.
And now, another edition of The Adventures of Roy from Elroy.
So, this is going to be this could be a regular. I don't know if it'll be every week, but it'll be regular, and it'll be the Adventures of Roy from Elroy. Now we've had pictures up there, so they all know,
so they all know.
right? I mean, the point is,
We'll put some pictures on there. Yeah.
the boys bought a dog,
Yep.
and let's talk about it.
A
Let's talk about
charcoal Labrador
Yep.
named Roy, and we were looking for him on the
Oh,
internet.
we weren't looking for him. We didn't even know what we were searching
Yeah.
for. We were looking
We
for
were just
dogs.
looking for dogs
Yeah.
on the internet, and we had several choices,
Yeah.
and then
narrowed it down.
Roy,
Who was
AKA
named-
Bruno.
formerly known
He's-
as Bruno.
Yeah, he stuck out from the pack.
and he stuck out from the pack. I never knew that you could have a charcoal
I don't know that. I thought there
or a
was black.
never heard
or
of
a
it.
silver
Yeah,
one
I
that,
knew
that
there
his
was
mother
black.
was.
I knew there was yellow, and I knew there was chocolate. We had a chocolate lab back when growing up, so I knew those three.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea. I wonder how they got breeding those to have the silver and the black.
I don't know that.
Anyway,
I can't talk
or
about
not
that.
silver and the charcoal, I should say. But I
Yeah,
didn't know
he's
about
kind of
it
a
either.
steel blue color.
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
it's
a
steel.
dark
Exactly,
blue
exactly
steel.
what it is.
Blue
Blue
steel.
steel.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anyway,
Can't turn left.
He's how old?
he is
10 weeks old?
He'll be 11
11
weeks
Yeah.
by the
November
end
3rd.
of this.
He was born
Yeah.
November
Or
3rd,
November 3rd,
2022.
2022.
Wow.
Yep.
And he is he was like, what, 6 or 7 pounds?
Yeah, he's probably close to 8 or 9 now, I would think.
Do you want to go grab him? Do you not want to do that?
He's got
We don't-
pictures.
I don't care. We can do that.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll just,
Just
we'll
take your
just-
take your thing off.
we'll
yeah.
just
Take your
chat it
helmet
up
off,
here.
Joe.
Didn't want you to.
Hey, this is really off the cuff. This
But
is,
that would have been funny.
We
if
talked
you
about
would've-
a name.
yeah, this is cutting edge.
We talked about a name.
Cutting edge
and
podcasting.
People threw around names. We were in it was a family group chat, and there was names bandied about. But what came about was that Elroy, it's a town about an hour,
15 minutes.
Up
15
toward
minutes north
Toma. Yep.
west of us, and it was Elroy, and we thought, well, why don't we just call him Roy? And so Roy stuck, and he'll bring him up, and you get to see Elroy.
You'll be seeing
Roy
Roy
from
here
Elroy.
in just a minute. We'll
Yeah.
have him.
Good
bring
old
him
Here
here.
he
Roy.
comes.
Roy's
This
our
is
Roy.
cutting edge podcasting.
Yeah, this is great.
You're getting to see him
Oh,
first.
there's
There he
Roy.
is.
Yep.
Here, you can show him.
Yep.
Show him the
His first
analysis.
podcast.
You can see him yet. There we go.
Oh,
there he
yeah.
is.
Yep.
Roy
Oh,
from
Roy's
Elroy.
famous.
Yep.
Show him to the other one too, Joe, if you don't mind.
Oh,
'Cause that
yeah.
one might be a little bit.
Cleaner.
There he is.
Cut dark
Hey,
there.
buddy.
Hey.
Hey, Roy.
And he's a smart dog. He really
Yep.
is. But he's having a few problems with his bathroom
Yep.
issues. We all do, especially at that age. I mean, none of you guys were potty trained at six,
No.
at 9 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever. So yeah,
This is a whole new world for Roy. I don't
Yeah,
think he's been
yeah,
up to
he's
yet.
he's in the podcast area. Mm-hmm. We didn't really talk about him coming up here, but
No, we didn't.
what do you think, Roy?
He's speechless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great
He's
podcast.
nervous.
He's stage
He's not.
fright. Stage
He's,
fright.
he's,
Stage fright.
yeah, he's
tired.
not very good under pressure right now.
CP.
he chews on a lot of things. Last night he was chewing on our fireplace.
He's gonna take a little nap right now.
Yeah. And he's got a crate. He's
Yep.
got a little cage. Well, it's a pretty big cage, actually. And he doesn't like that.
Nope.
He's used to sleeping next to his brothers and sisters, his other pups.
Yep.
And then he just really likes people. He likes you guys. He likes everybody.
Yep.
So
Special place for Joe. Joe's been
Yep.
with him the most because Drew works full time for another business, and I've been this is my first. Well, today was my last day at the business that he worked for in a different department, and now I'm full time, so there'll be a little bit more
He's snoring.
time. He's snoring now.
here, listen to that. Did you hear it?
Kind of.
He falls
Anyway.
asleep. He falls asleep at the drop of a hat, but then he's up just as quick and running around and bouncing and stuff. You know what puppies are like. They're a lot of fun. So they're
Anyway.
a challenge, but they're fun. And so we'll just keep track of him. We'll just
Yep.
show
Yep.
some videos
As he
every once
grows
in a
up
while.
and stuff.
He'll be
Sharing
part of
the
podcast.
adventures
Roy.
of Roy from Elroy.
From Elroy.
That's our new segment.
All right. Next up is Ryan Doescher. So check that out. And then after that, we've got Idaho.
State facts.
Nice.
Sure do.
We're back at it with
You
the
bet we
states.
Yep. Popular demand.
Yep. Better than
So
ever.
join us right after this. Hey, it's Dad and I. We got our coffee here, and right above us is the 1855 Coffee House.
I also just noticed that I have the same shirt I had on in Green Bay, but I've washed it, just so you know.
We hope so. You're watching the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. We're in the process of getting new equipment, so I'm gonna get some new cameras.
Yeah.
They're gonna be better.
Well, it looks good to me. I guess I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not the most
Put that a little tighter to his mouth there, if you would.
I'm not the most technologically savvy
Yeah,
person.
yeah. Well,
So it's
even more, Hudson,
Yeah.
even more.
even more.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Get it
here, let me-
get a little bit tighter
I've gotta
to
move
him.
This then out of the way.
Yeah.
Are these the sponsors up here?
Yeah. Reverse sponsors.
We call them reverse sponsors. In other words, we don't have any sponsors. We do free advertising for them.
Wow.
So we can do that for Olson Tune for sure. Yeah.
It's very.
I mean, I even
small.
have landscaping down there
Yeah.
from Olson Tune.
Yeah. Well, I always love getting projects out this way because it's just something about working close to home that's
Yeah.
kind of nice too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. How's
So-
your mic?
What do you think? Check 1, 2.
That's
Sound
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, he can go up just a tad bit.
Okay. I think he's number 4, so we'll turn him right up.
So maybe what we can do is we can have those pictures digitally a
Yeah.
little bit later on in the interview, and we can have Ryan explain it and
Because
show
the pictures
show
are just so great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, yeah, we were going through them this weekend because we had these, and I can leave these here until I come back next time or
Okay.
whatever, just so you can kind of see these. But
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures are like with our kids, it's special to me, but
Yeah.
just like my father-in-law and my wife just did such a great job, just like, you know, kind of documenting, photographically documenting the whole thing. And it's like, we looked at the pictures and my wife, we looked at it and she's like, I cannot believe in the last 3 or 4 years we did all this, because it's just, you just look at the lot and then we scraped like a driveway and we were putting in a culvert and, and we both kind of had a vision of how it all come together, and we had an architect. So that was helpful. But, just looking back, 4 years later, it was really cool just to start to look at the pictures and be like, put the fence in where our animal, we have, kind of a hobby farm of goats and horses and a pony. And it's just to look back and, with our busy schedules in our life. And fortunately, my father-in-law is just a great guy, just a really awesome handyman and craftsman. I mean, to have him kind of help do a lot of it or facilitate a lot of it, or, it's been really, really fun, really, really cool to look back at it.
Yeah. Maybe what we should do is kind of go in reverse, since we're talking about the house and stuff. We can do it for the first part, and then we can talk about maybe your growing up years and a little bit of nostalgia between you and I and stuff like that, and your high school years and Olson Tune and stuff like that. But let's stay on the house for this first part, because the house is magnificent, I think.
Oh, thank you.
We drive by, the setting is beautiful. Where did you? And maybe you can't. If I ask a question, you say, "Well, I can't divulge that information or whatever." You just go ahead. Okay. Who did you buy the land from?
We actually bought the land from a friend of mine, Mark Redeman, farmed it. He had a tie to the owner, and the owner was Gaylor Mickelson, who I didn't really know a lot about, but I guess Gaylor owned land in different locations kind of across the country. And but Mark had some, farm background and leased the land, and I think maybe even his grandpa leased the land or whatever that. So to make a long story short, my wife, seen it come up for sale, and we often drove by to get to and from where we lived, to get to the kids, to get to school or get to town or whatever. So my wife, one day when our little one that's now, 4 or 5 feet tall, was very little, she wanted to schedule a meeting with a realtor, and I was really negative and really against it. I was like, no, I'd love to build, but we can't afford it. And the lot was expensive. And so she drugged me out there on a really cold winter day. And I can remember we carried my little one, which was, I don't know if she was 2 years old at the time, carried her all the way around the 11 acres. And we loved it. And at the end of it was we both fell in love with it, but I'm like, it's just not realistic. Well, it was kind of a funny story, because we were at a play, which was kind of something I didn't do a lot of, go with my wife and kids to a play, but we were at a play at the high school, and Mark Redeman was sitting next to us. And during intermission, I started talking to him, and I started talking to him about that land and said how much we loved it, but, obviously we couldn't afford it, and had a conversation. And then just within 3 or 4 days, he called me and said, "Are you interested in that land?" And he said, I know they're asking whatever. He said, "I think I can, deal with the owner, who I've rented the land for a long time. I think I could negotiate a deal with him." So Mark actually negotiated the deal, which was a huge discount.
Yeah, he became a realtor for you, kind of.
Yeah, which was a huge, huge savings. Because, he had, the funny thing was, Gaylor thought he was going to get big money out of the lot and set the price tag kind of high, and got good offers that he declined, going for more money. Well, his wife ended up passing, and then Mark, after talking with him, I think he just there was some uncertainty a few years ago with the market, just like there is kind of now, how things go. Yeah. And so we talked with Mark. Mark talked with him. His wife had passed. Things had changed in his life, and he was kind of motivated to sell it. So we got it for a price we could afford, which is really cool, through Mark, through a friend.
So the setting is beautiful. I mean, you can see off to the west.
Yeah.
And it's kind of right on the knoll of a
Actually,
hill.
that's toward the north.
Oh, it is. Okay, toward the north.
That's kind of straight north, because like during the football season and baseball season, that's like you can see Sauk. The
you
baseball
can?
field, you can see.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and after we bought the lot, one of the things that I loved before we had anything up there, or before we could do anything while we were planning the house and whatever, like fireworks, we could drive up there on our road, like right about where our driveway is now, and watch the fireworks at Sauk, like just like come up like right there. One of the really cool things that I think, like this time of year, there's different times of year. One of the really cool things, like toward the north, that you see is like you can see Devil's Head, their lights for their ski.
Okay.
Like it seems so close, you know. But like the football field at Sauk, like I said, the baseball, the Mazo, when they do the fireworks up here, where they have the fireworks now, we see them really, really well. On the back of our lot, you can see Blue Mounds, which is really cool. When you look to the east, during the winter, when the locust trees, black locust trees don't have any leaves, you can see the light in Black Earth, the stoplight, go from green to red, to
Really?
like
Wow.
yellow to red, which is kind of
Got a
cool.
real
that
good
is
vantage
neat.
point for
Yeah.
To the
just about
east,
everything.
it's like day to day, you kind of start to take advantage. You start to take it kind of for granted.
Yeah,
like,
right.
but like if you really stop, like I mean, during when my wife kind of documented our building process, she had a photo that she showed me this weekend that she thought was really cool, because like there was a photo she took with the moon, like that you could see on one side and the sunset on the other, which we often see. At our last property was great, was extraordinary. We loved it. But it was totally wooded around like three sides, and totally like there was a steep hillside kind of surrounding the house. So, I mean, that was something, I mean, we could never see a sunset unless we were somewhere else, because we couldn't see it. It was just blocked
by the hill there.
Yeah, but now it's like we have the most beautiful sunrises out the front, which she positioned the house so that the front porch is facing like is facing east, and the back is facing west. So just like when I'm getting up for work in the morning, if it's that time, just some of the most beautiful like pinks, purples, and blues, and then the sunsets are just breathtaking in the back. So
you bought this lot, which is over 11 acres, right? And was that farmland before, or just kind of pasture land or something?
And Mark really loved to farm it, because he's got some land that's adjacent to it, because he was working with Gaylord, and he had already bought most of the land as farmland, and then Gaylord had 2 lots for sale, and we bought the last one. But anyway, yeah, so it was farmland. Mark kept joking around that he was always planting it in corn, so people that would look at the lot, because he didn't want Gaylord to sell it, because he wanted to farm it. He would plant it in corn so people couldn't visualize like what they would want to do with the lot. Yeah.
So what year did you buy it?
We bought it in, I think it was 2018.
2018, and did you start building right away? Or?
The funny thing was, I took a skid steer home from work and stripped the lot, stripped the topsoil off the lot. So we owned it, you know, for I would say several months before we could do anything, because we were working with an architect and we had some planning, and you know, you got to go through permitting, and so it took a few months to kind of kick things off. But I stripped the dirt off the lot and put up like the erosion control, which was like maybe a week or 2 before the floods. So that's one thing I remember too, because obviously if you're from Black Earth or Mazo or Cross Plains or Middleton, you remember the floods of, I think, 2018, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a month. We kind of started like a month before that happened.
Wow.
And if you remember that time, I mean, it was the flood, but then it was kind of quite sad, because there was a lot of people, you know, having issues because of the flood, but we kept getting rain after the floods, like pretty regular, like every second or third or fourth day, we were getting another rainfall or whatever. So, we, you know, probably within, you know, 3 weeks or whatever, 4 weeks after the flood, we had a hole, and then this massive hole that we dug kept filling with water. So then we couldn't get the footing in because we couldn't, you couldn't put the footing in. So we were then like pumping out the water and, but and the sides were kind of collapsing. So I thought we were going to have to redig the hole. And it was a little bit of a rough start. And that winter we built, which was 2018 through 2019, I believe, was actually we had some snow, but it was cold too. Cause I remember we struggled to like get the roof on and we had to, like our builder, rented heaters from United Rental or one of those rental companies to try and like melt the snow off the roof, the snow and ice. Cause we gave ourselves several months to put the house up and we kind of tried to sell like the sale of our house and we rented back from the people that bought our house. But we kept falling behind schedule and part of it was the weather. And cause there was just so many days that it was too cold for people to work outside that winter. That was a cold winter.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little bit of snow too. So
take us, if you will, I want to get to the pictures here in a few minutes, but take us through the property. I mean, I've been by it many times. And every time I go by there, I say, I've got to ask Ryan if sometime we can come and see it. And I always forget, or I always, chicken out to ask you or figure, well, they've got kids and they've got a busy schedule. And it usually happens around spring or summer when you're the busiest. So, but to take us around the grounds quickly, because there's more than just a house there. The house is how many square feet first?
The house is, I think so it's kind of like there's an in-law area there, in-law suite.
Mother-in-law, is that what they
mother-in-law
call it?
suite. Yeah. So my in-laws have 800 because the county and what they permit is like 800 square feet. So they have like a small area and then there's some common area that's basically theirs with that. So that's part of the property that's different than most like, conventional homes, which is really, really great too, because my in-laws, do a lot in the way of helping us and spend a lot of quality time with us and our kids. And so it's really, special and great to have them there. So that's like, something that was part of the early planning. My wife is an only child, so she spends a lot of time with her parents and she coaches here at Heights, does a lot of volleyball coaching with her dad who coached her a lot growing up, and they're both teachers, so they're great to have around our kids. And so that's a big part of our property is their space.
Is that connected to the house?
Which is connected, okay. As part of what the county and part of what is allowed, it's got to be connected. It can't be like two different buildings.
Got it.
So the in-law area is part of it. But I think to answer that question, with their space, we're at like 3,500 square feet or something.
Okay, for the house and the in-law suite.
Yeah.
And then you have other buildings too, right?
And then there's a separate, we call it's basically like a shed, but there's a run-in for our animals because we are at a fairly high elevation. I think I heard somebody say we're at like the second highest elevation in Dane County. Wow. So one thing that we notice is like constant wind. Even on a day where you might be in another place that doesn't seem real windy, if I go home, it's like, gosh, it feels breezy or you do get a lot of wind. So we built the building and part of that building faces south, where our animals can kind of get in and shelter themselves. So that's kind of, and we put solar panels on that, kind of hoping that we'll be there for a long time and that investment will hopefully pay off where we can. And it's also, part of a green initiative too, to hopefully keep our environment, healthier.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I always drive by your house. I drive by your house from time to time, like Dad said, and such a nice place. It looks real good. It looks like a shop house from the outside. It looks like and I've always liked that design. And I talk about to my dad how I like the loft. So I saw your thing and right away I was like, if I ever build a house, I'd like to have a loft in it. But anyway,
why don't you do this?
What do I do
for the next 10 minutes?
What do I do?
Why don't you sit next to Ryan and we'll get that microphone going.
It's
We're being
on.
real. Okay, why don't you sit next to Ryan, and you guys can walk through there and look at the pictures. You can
Okay.
ask him some questions, and then the next segment, if we can, we'll take a little pause here. In the next segment, we can talk a little bit about those other things. So if you guys can kind of look through those and.
How do I
and,
sound here? Do I
let me-
look good
let
on
me
the?
check. We're very off the cuff here.
Oh,
Go
we're
ahead.
gonna need to change this too because I'm not even in the picture. So we'll just.
Well, you guys can stop by anytime. It'd be fun to have you guys over and just show you some of it in person after we go through a lot of talking through a lot of stuff.
Now I didn't see a picture of a basketball hoop. Where's the
Well,
basketball hoop in there?
That's what I really want.
It's coming yet.
We always have a volleyball net up in the backyard, and for some reason that seems more important than than basketball.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So-
well,
Gotta put your foot down. Nah, just kidding.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
go ahead and walk us through those, Ryan, if you don't mind. This is the house, the house proper. I always thought it kind of looked like, and this is not a cut it off. I've always seen these barns that are remodeled, and I think, wow, that would be neat to remodel. And that's what I first thought. I knew it was new, but I thought, wow, it looks like they're kind of trying to make it almost a big barn type home.
We looked at it was a property toward Barneveld, and the guy it was kind of interesting, but he moved a barn. He owned Playcon, and he moved the barn that was the McKee Road barn or farm that was like where Star Cinema is. He moved it out toward Barneveld, and we looked at the property, and we were thinking about buying it, but it was more than what we could spend. But there was a beautiful barn there that was, it had heat and plumbing and all that, and so that was something we considered. I would say like the shell of our building probably looks more like a post frame, like a wick building, which I love. I mean, but a lot of the inspiration comes from just both my wife and I, like, our love of old vintage, barnwood and barns
Rustic.
and yep.
Yeah.
So you've got the rebar here as the,
Actually,
or is that not rebar?
Yep, that
Okay.
is just. I was actually going to bring a piece of that, but that's just. It's just barn wood, and then like the stringers of the posts are rebar. It's just, and I think all we really did is put some type of a varnish coating over it, or like a clear coat, but so it doesn't rust. But it's actually just an inexpensive way to use, like material, like rebar material, to build a nice looking. Because
It
obviously
fits real nice.
Obviously you have to have something there because the kids can, it's kind of like a catwalk with the rooms up there. But
Then you said your brother.
my brother is a mason. Yeah.
He
And
did the fireplace.
He did the fireplace, and I don't have pictures of it today, but there's some stone veneer on the outside of the house too that he did.
And then you were talking about the wood earlier. What did you call that?
Yeah, both on the main level in some areas, and now on the lower level, we just bought it's some type of a barnwood that's like tongue and groove.
Okay.
But my wife likes to, because it actually looks really good unpainted, but she likes to just pick a color and paint it.
Yeah.
Which in that picture is in the master bathroom. So that's And
I like the lighting because it makes it look like an old farmhouse or something like that. Just with the.
My wife, she could definitely be some type of an interior designer or designer, because she's so good at she will like scour all kinds of different sites or places to buy, whether it's lighting or whatever. Just does tons of research before making any decisions, and totally takes her time. I mean, she could spend 6 months just on the lights, planning the lights for the house, but
I'll have to get a hold of her when I do mine.
yeah, when we did our house, I mean, she has some small businesses, but the year we did our house, she did a lot less with her businesses. And I mean, she between her and her dad basically acted like the general contractor, dealing with the people and the design as kind of pretty much like a full-time job.
Wow, I bet.
Putting several hours in every day and
Yeah.
nights and weekends. And I remember when we were designing the house, she would be, up all night and and in the morning before I'd go to work, I'd have an update like, oh, I think I'm going to move this. I think if we put a door here, this will be a lot better, and we could move this and make better use of this corner or make better use of this space. And so it's really pretty well thought out and planned, all parts of it by her.
Then you talked about the kids' rooms are up on the loft.
Yeah.
Basically, or do you call that is that what you call it, a loft? Or
Yeah.
a mezzanine or whatever?
Yeah, the upstairs or the second level.
Okay.
But this is actually really cool too. The actually sliding barn doors is something that is really neat.
You know what? Dan
I
and
know
Brittany
that,
have that in the
yeah,
basement.
yeah.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
We were really, really fortunate. I had a close friend that built a year or two before we did, and he had some connections with with an Amish community in Reedstown, and we got to know a lot of the people. So the guy that did our cabinets is Eddie Gingrich, and so he's Amish, and his brother, who we met a lot of the families and people in the community, and they were really great people. His brother built the interior doors, and definitely the nicest, doors that I mean, it's just straight wood, hardwood, and I mean, we kind of came across that through a friend, but so then they had someone in their community, another Amish person that did like the millwork for our house. So, and then Rudy Beachy was a guy up there that sold like actual barnwood, like a lumber yard. But so that's where we got a lot of our. So we actually just really hit it good by, meeting the guy. The first guy I think was the cabinet guy, and then he would just say, "Hey, just drive, through this Amish community, and you go over there." And
I know a guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's where you can get your millwork.
Yeah,
or that's where
nice.
That's where my brother can do your doors, and actually we have like cupolas. There's like 3 cupolas on top because we wanted to kind of incorporate like something that was barn-like on the roof, and we just happened to be there, and they had like a pancake breakfast, and they were cutting wood, and there was a young Amish guy and his dad that was at this. It was just on a whim. They were actually from closer to like La Crosse, and happened to be there, and we gave them a picture of what we wanted, and they fabricated it, and really the connections, and to this day, like, my wife still sends them Christmas cards, and we still keep in touch with them.
Nice.
And so, and they have like their school and in their community, their school has like an auction that's really, really cool. Like in the spring, they sell like furniture, and they'll sell anything from flowers or, baked goods or whatever. So we've gone to the auctions, and so it's really, really kind of cool, part of the experience of building that was really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a few more there that you can walk through? We've got a couple more minutes here.
Master bedroom, you said, with the tin.
Yeah, it's actually just I think steel that probably was taken off of the side of a building or a roof of a building that we were able to use for kind of a wall covering for the ceiling. In our basement, we put up kind of some vintage tile that's tin as well. So.
How does it do with, like, when you, like, to me, it could look like it would be a little cold from time to time. Is it?
I think.
What's the heating like?
I
and
think
stuff like that?
Like in some of those, a lot of those areas, there's drywall behind it by code. Okay. Like for fire protection. I know there's drywall above the steel. So, it's about this. I think it's about the same. It's just kind of a wall covering.
Okay.
So.
Well, it would be great to have those. I mean, we're going to have those up so that people can see them. And
maybe what we could do is, if you could send us some more, that would be nice, and we can have them playing throughout.
Yeah, that would be nice, because I'd like to see them anyway.
Yeah,
like I said, the digital ones are really cool. Yeah, but this will be fun to talk through it. And show you guys some things.
Yeah, well, you've got a great house there, and I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more about your family. So we're going to take a little break here.
Sure.
And then we're going to come back and talk a little bit about your growing up years, and kind of go up until where we are right now, the house and such. Yeah. So if you can hang with us just a little bit longer.
You bet.
Sounds good. Thanks to Ryan Doescher for stopping by for that interview. As we said, I coached Ryan in middle school. That was a long time ago. He was a nice kid.
And then
good to have on the team.
And then you coached him, and then one of your youngest sons became his best friend.
Yep. Damon.
Calling him by his nickname.
Calling him Dash. Yep. I never dreamed of calling him Dash.
Nope.
I didn't think we were that close.
Nope.
But now I'm going to, just like
It's
Jet.
too bad you didn't
just like
start
Jet
that.
Springstead.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling him Dash. I hope that's okay. I'll ask Ryan if that's
Yeah.
okay.
I
But
would guess he won't care.
yeah, by the way, real quickly, I noticed that last week we were at 88 subscribers. Boom, 93. Five more.
Yep.
93.
We
So
got a handful more.
make
7
sure.
away
Make sure. Yeah.
from 100.
What do you get when you get 100 subscribers?
Nothing.
You get
100
100
subscribers.
Yep.
I think it's 1,000 when you start getting some form of.
Yeah.
We're not worried about that.
No,
Yeah.
it's just.
But
it's
if
just
you'd
for
like
fun.
to subscribe
But
and you
yeah.
have like 900 more friends, let us know.
Yeah.
By the way, I broke my
Already.
whatchamacallit?
New Year's resolution.
My New Year's resolution. I'm a minute behind.
That's all right.
Again.
So
That's okay.
That's all right. The second part.
I just get so carried
you were
away
right
because
the
this
first part.
podcast is so
Well,
it's so intriguing and mind capturing for me.
you do have to start the second one all the time, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're always thinking about, I got to start this.
Yeah.
Because I have to set up the cameras.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Yep. It's a lot of pressure, but we'll work it out. I just don't want to take any more time away from
And
Idaho.
Not that I really care
Oh.
or that anybody really cares, but the reason that we show us zooming in and getting the cameras ready is to kind of give you just a little behind the scenes look. We could easily edit that out. I just want people, not that anybody said anything, but some people might say, well, that kind of looks bad because we want you to get a kind of a look inside right away. And it's not that much, but that's what
Behind the
it's there for.
scenes, in front of the scenes.
Well, right, and
Before the
we're
scenes.
so different. I mean, like if you meet us
Off
on the street,
camera.
we're so different.
Oh.
I mean, this is just totally put on, and that's nice to see just a little bit of what we're like when we're not in front of the camera.
Our guard's down. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, Drew.
I don't know. It's been at least 2 episodes since we've had.
It's been a long 2 episodes.
It's been at
probably
least.
a
That's all I could remember back.
month-ish or
Yeah.
month and a half.
Yeah.
I think I did one when I came back from North Carolina. I mean, otherwise I've just been so busy.
Was Hawaii the last?
Well, you're making $20 million for West Bend.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have a little help. So
I hope none of your colleagues are
hope
watching.
so too. We do very little.
That was a joke.
Yeah. I don't think anyone watch. Nobody'd be offended. No, they shouldn't be. Not on behalf of
The
them.
off chance that they did.
Okay, so the state of Idaho, the beautiful state of Idaho, state flower, syringa. The syringa, or better known as Philadelphus louisii, is a woody shrub with clusters of white, fragrant. Are you gonna settle down back there?
Oh, he's
Rustling around.
gonna put an absolute smoke screen of chapped lipped stuff on his smoke
There's a lot of
screen.
rustling during my segment.
Oh, welcome to Wisconsinites Weekly.
I wasn't rustling. I wasn't rustling at all during that.
We should have a segment of
Yeah, you were rustling your mouth.
I was not.
Aren't you going to put that up
Not.
higher?
Joe, get it on your eyebrows.
on the right
Make sure your
shoe.
eyebrows. Make sure your eyebrows aren't chapped.
Let's try to get this started again. Idaho, the state flower. Syringa is a woody shrub with clusters of white, fragrant flowers, sometimes called mock orange, that grows up to 10 feet
Flagrant.
tall.
Isn't it
Did I
Fragrant.
say fragrant?
Fragrant.
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 Okay.
Okay.
The species name, same thing. The species name, Louisi, honors Meriwether Lewis of the Lewis and Clark expedition, who wrote about the plant in his journal. This species is found only in the western states of Montana, Wyoming, Washington, and California. However, similar flowers are found under different names throughout the northern hemisphere. Native Americans found many uses for syringa. The wood was used to make pipe stems, harpoon shafts, bows, arrows, root digging sticks, and snowshoes. That must be a big
Must
flower.
be very pliable.
That's almost like cannibalism. You're taking a piece of a tree and then you're using it to dig out the roots of said tree.
But they're not eating them.
I know that, but it's
Okay.
like a tree. It's like tree on tree crime.
Got it.
That's better than
The bark,
cannibalism.
the bark and leaves of syringa were used to make soap as well.
Wow.
Many uses for this thing. It was very
Was that fragrant? Was that fragrant soap or fragrant soap? You think?
fragrant.
Fragrant. It's like a frag grenade. It's fragmented.
You just say it funny.
Okay.
Fragrant.
Fragrant.
There you go.
Perfect.
It's very
Nailed it
fragrant.
this time.
Like fray.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I mean, you've got so many words there.
There's
to
a
get
lot of
right.
words
There's
here
a
to
lot
get
of
out.
words. Yeah.
I don't use that very much in the bonds world, do you?
Don't.
Can you imagine washing your hands and getting a bunch of slivers?
I don't think that's how it works.
I mean, it's a flower. There's more than just anyway.
Oh wow, this is really rough.
The problem is sometimes you try to go into that world with him, and you can't live there.
Well, I'll dive
And
in.
he lives
Think
there
about
in that
it.
world.
I'll
It's
take a
hard to
think-
play
think
in that
about it.
world.
Wait,
with
Joe,
him.
Drew, wait. Joe
Think
was
about
with
it.
me.
You wouldn't have to wash your hands because it'd be literally ingrained in your hands.
There you go.
Would it be going against the grain though?
Oh wow. Okay. Don't want to be a part of that.
couldn't
tennis
go.
match.
I went in
That's
there.
too high-minded for
Yeah,
us.
exactly. State bird. Let's stay on track here, guys. Dad started the clock late.
Yeah.
State bird is the mountain bluebird. The bluebird family is especially plentiful in Idaho's mountains. The mountain bluebird, Celia, arctica, arctica. I'm not up on my Latin.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Give you a break.
Is a small thrush found on ranch land and other open areas of the American West. It prefers more open habitats than other bluebirds and can be found in colder habitats in winter. Mountain bluebirds tolerate colder habitats than other bluebirds. So the mountain bluebirds are hardier, apparently.
Did you say they tolerate?
Yeah, they tolerate it. The state tree, the western white pine, white as Mom would say, the western white pine tree grows in the mountains of the western United States and Canada, in the Sierra Nevada, the Cascade Range, the Coast Range, and the northern Rocky Mountains, extending down to the sea level in many areas. Western white pine wood is soft, straight-grained, and evenly textured, used to make everything from houses to wooden matches.
I thought maybe soap. Sounds like a really good soap tree.
There you go. So the state nickname is the Gem State for the abundance of natural resources and scenic areas that include snow-capped mountain ranges, rapids, vast lakes, and steep canyons. The mountains of Idaho contain veins of gold, silver, lead, zinc, cobalt, copper, and many other rare minerals. Among these rare minerals are gems, star garnets, Idaho's state gem, jasper, opal, jade, topaz, zircon, and tourmaline. I don't know if I said that one right.
We're going to get a lot of comments on this one.
Yeah. The state motto, Esto Perpetua, which means let it be perpetual in Latin.
But I wonder what that's
Let
for.
what be perpetual?
Let the land of Idaho be perpetual.
I guess. I don't know.
Isn't Idaho, the land of the
information desk.
isn't.
Hey, we haven't
Wait,
even
wait,
started
wait.
doing the information
Yeah,
desk.
maybe
He's
it's
been
so
rustling and not paying attention.
good that it's scary.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Hey,
It's so scary.
Isn't that the-
well, you look that up. You look
Yeah,
that up.
have you
I got
seen-
some fun facts after
I didn't
this.
know that. I didn't know that Idaho was so hilly and stuff like that, and mountainous. I saw some videos of it, and I thought this was just
You've
like
never been there.
You mean
Never been
Napoleon
Have
Dynamite?
you ever been there?
We
Barely.
Didn't we go
Wait,
into
wait,
the
wait.
corner?
So we went to the corner just barely when we went to
Barely.
Montana for my friend's wedding. But we went in then when we were on our way back. We went into
Wasn't Yellowstone? Isn't
Yellowstone is
Yellowstone
part of
in a
it.
piece
just barely
of Idaho?
because I remember seeing the Idaho sign and it was like "Welcome back to Montana," basically.
You ever been to Idaho?
Very
Joe? The same. Was that a family trip that we did that?
Yeah, that was Yellowstone.
Atlanta
Oh
Taters.
yeah. 1979 singing group from the college I was on, traveling through there in a green van, and there were big forest fires there, and they were rerouting people, rerouting traffic because
There it
it
is.
was a hot summer. And
Esto Perpetua.
so what does it mean? Latin phrase meaning
Let it be perpetual.
okay, but that isn't an answer.
Nailed it.
The words are traced back to the Venetian theologian
And
and mathematician Paolo Sarpi,
Perfect. Nailed it.
also known as
Rocco Surfing
Fra
Lake.
Paolo.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So
We can't use this as a source because it's Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Well, we're not doing a paper,
But
so
but anyway, isn't that
Esto
where they have lots of potatoes too?
Perpetua.
we sure do.
Does that mean that
They used to.
they have a
anyway.
real high concentration of
Potassium,
well that, but
dirt.
Irish people?
oh
No,
Well, no,
Is
I
that-
mean,
isn't that an Irish?
well, I mean, you can grow potatoes anywhere. I mean,
I think
You
I
don't
think
have
I
to
think
be
what you're
Irish to
maybe
grow
getting
potatoes.
mixed up with is that
Potato
the
famine.
potato famine over in Ireland drove a lot of Irish immigration here, but I don't know if then they just went to Idaho and started growing potatoes. I don't. That's as far
A
as my
little
knowledge
stereotypical,
goes. So maybe it's
So here's
time.
here's the thing about the Esto, whatever. The day
Perpetua?
before his death, he had dictated 3 replies to questions of affairs of state, and his last words were "Esto Perpetua," reportedly in reference to his beloved Venice, and translated as "Mayest thou endure forever."
Oh, good job,
mayest.
Joseph.
So
Mayest
That
Idaho.
was,
Who,
that-
though?
well,
that
the,
was
the
Fra-
land.
Fra-
That
of,
was the
Paolo.
Venetian. That was the Venetian theologian and mathematician, I
but
believe.
the land of
Paolo
Idaho
Sarpi.
would
Sarpi.
endure
Sarpi,
forever.
thank you.
Mayest thou
Hockey
endure
Sarpi
forever.
Niku.
or some of his friends just called him Fra Apollo.
Fra
Fra
Paolo.
Paolo.
Fra Paolo. Yeah.
Fra Paolo.
Like Dash,
Yep.
Fra.
Fra.
Nice.
Good for you.
Venetian.
That was excellent.
Fa
Excellent. You
Mulan.
get teased a lot, but that's what we have you there for.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Roasted.
All right.
Let's get on
Can
to
you
some
get us
fun
back to the front
facts.
page there for a little bit, Joe. Just because we get a real nice spray tan on this camera when the screen is white. There we go. Thank you.
Let's get on to some fun facts. From Heaven's Gate Lookout, you can see 4 states. Idaho, naturally, because that's where you're at. Oregon, Oregon. I'll correct myself. Oregon. Washington, and Montana.
Wow.
Those 4 states you can see.
Nice.
Huh.
If it was Oregon, you'd be able to see 5 because you could see Oregon,
You can see Wisconsin.
Oregon,
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
right. That'd be a long way to see, wouldn't
The
it?
radical podcaster
works there.
works in Oregon,
Oh.
Wisconsin.
Oregon,
At
Wisconsin.
Trachty.
Yep.
There you go, Carl.
Track me gently, track me slowly.
Yep.
Trachty. Shoshone Falls is a 212-foot waterfall. There's some pictures I saw. It's beautiful. Beautiful. That's in Idaho. Sun Valley Resort was the first destination ski resort in the U.S.
Okay.
Wow.
And I think they've hosted the Olympics.
Really?
Am I right?
Idaho?
Look that up.
Isn't that where
Sun
Los
Valley.
Winter
Angeles
Olympics
is?
mean
Huh?
Isn't that where Los Angeles is? Idaho?
Yeah, I think it might
the
be.
winter.
Oh, okay.
No.
Something
No,
with
see
winter.
if
Sorry,
Sun
I've never
Valley
been to
has had
Idaho.
some Winter
I
Olympic
didn't-
events.
Yeah, I
Just do
didn't-
like Idaho Winter Olympics. or
might have like the
Yeah,
US
city in Idaho.
stuff.
Right, but does it?
something. Yeah, but he wants to know if it's ever hosted the.
it doesn't say anything about
Winter Olympics. Boom.
Wow, look at us. Is awarded their own
yeah,
run at
nice.
Bald Mountain.
1948.
Bald Mountain.
Yeah, okay,
wait a
good.
second.
They call it Hudson's Mountain.
True.
There's just people from Sun Valley that have
Oh.
Winter
during the-
Olympics in Salt Lake, about 300.
was used as a
you
training
said
site.
training. You knew
okay,
that.
there
You
it
knew
is.
that. You
Well,
knew
Nordic
that.
ski teams.
I did know that there was something
Oh,
connected to
knew
that
it.
slope and that area
know
with
it.
the Olympics.
Think about how deep your knowledge is on the
Look at
Winter
this, though.
Olympics. You don't even know the location, but you're
Sun-
so deep
I
that you
just-
know
I-
where they
I saw it.
train.
Yeah.
Well, you can say it.
That's
yeah.
that's one
That's
thing.
unbelievable.
Listen
This is-
here.
Maybe
Listen
Drew
here.
already has this as a fun fact, but Sun Valley is home to the world's first chairlift.
Yeah, I
Wow.
don't.
James Curran.
Thought we could
Yep.
look it up.
Yep.
Jimmy
He-
Curran.
of the Union Pacific Railroad.
Oh,
So there you go.
1936.
Idaho.
When they
Nice.
have the down at the tap house, their
Trivia.
trivia, I'll go down there, and if I get asked anything about Sun Valley, boom.
Got your answer.
Not to be mistaken for Car Valley cheese.
Not at all.
Or Happy
Not
Valley
a
Farms.
sponsor.
True.
The biggest sand dune in the U.S. is in Bruno Dunes State Park.
Nice.
What?
What is Grandpa doing at the dunes?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. Idaho has a neutral dialect, apparently.
No accent, huh?
Just like
Correct.
Ohio.
Ohio, yeah.
Native Idahoans, which I believe is how you pronounce
Idahoans?
that. Idahoans do not have any sort of accent based on a study of how people talk across the country. Of all the states, they had the most average pronunciation of words and therefore have the most neutral accent of all 50 states.
So are you
Interesting. I
saying-
never
You
would
can-
have guessed
you
that.
can push that in those Ohioans' face.
Put that in their
So
face.
are you saying when it comes to languages that Idahoans are like Switzerland
They're neutral.
with their yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I stole your punchline there.
That's
But
all right.
today, when I was doing a live directed session, the person said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Wisconsin." He said, "You don't sound like you're from Wisconsin. You have a neutral accent."
you know there,
I said, "Well, I get my warm boots and coat
Hat,
and hat, boots, coat."
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't know that. That is very interesting.
I thought that
That's
was
a
interesting,
neutral.
too.
Thank you. For voiceover
You don't
podcast,
see, you don't
that's
see a lot of
interesting.
Listen.
things from Idaho.
Don't say that out.
You really
say,
don't.
We probably shouldn't publish this.
Let's just be
We should
happy with
probably
where
cut
they're
this
at
from the
there.
show because what if all of the people from Idaho decide to get into voiceover?
If they'll
Then
shut
take
the
it
whole
down.
thing down, let's all be neutral.
Here
better
we're
than
worried
AI.
about. Here we're worried about AI,
Yeah.
and we should be worried about
Idaho.
another I.
Yep.
Yeah.
Idaho.
Oh boy. Good point.
Yep.
ID,
Neutral Idaho.
which
You
is,
can put that in Todd's tips too if you want.
I'll do it.
they probably get a
Next
lot
segment.
of they probably get a lot of like local weather and newscaster jobs because they go there and they got a neutral
Yep.
Yeah,
sounding
you want
voice.
that. You want that on national.
Exactly.
You want that
Oh,
on
national. That's what I meant.
Yeah, national.
National.
Yep.
That's what I meant. And I bless you. I thank you for correcting me.
You are blessed and
Yeah.
In a
thankful.
time where compliments are not given out very often.
Yeah, that's not a compliment. 70% of the trout sold in the U.S. is from Idaho.
Trout.
I thought that was kind of interesting. A lot of trout. The Dog Bark Park Inn is the world's largest beagle. So they must have like a big. Look up the
Dog Park
Dog
Inn.
Park.
Bark.
The
that
Dog
his name?
Bark Park Inn.
We got to take Roy there now.
Sure do.
Yep.
Adventures of Roy.
That'll be
That would be kind of fun,
That
yeah.
would be fun.
That would be nice.
Although
That'd be
right now we're in our potty training, that would be
Ooh,
a
that wouldn't be
mess.
fun.
And the
Just kidding. Good
This
boy,
is so
Roy.
fun.
Dog Bark Park.
Bark Park Inn.
There it
There you
is.
go.
Cottonwood ID, Idaho.
and so what is this again?
It's
It's
a
the largest,
Oh.
world's largest beagle. So this must be.
so it's a
like
wood-
metal
looks like a
or
wooden-
wood
oh,
or
metal.
something like
oh,
that.
it looks like they
That
can,
almost looks like that. Kind of reminds me of the scene in Pee Wee
Yeah,
Herman.
you're right.
Oh,
With
you
the
can-
dinosaur.
Yeah, you can go up there. Get that big. Can you get that
Yeah,
big?
Joe.
Yep. Here it is.
That's as big as we can go.
I don't know.
You can visit. Well, you gotta get nervous
Oh,
about the
it's
sight
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But look at that. It's like a house, or
Yeah.
like it's got doors
I
and
wonder
it's
if
got.
I wonder if that's the idea there. I wonder if look. I wonder if you stay in there.
Yeah, that's the point.
looks
The
like maybe there's
Dog
only one room,
Bark
maybe.
Park Inn. I wonder if
m-
maybe there's a bunch of little
A noble
beagle
and
dogs.
absurd undertaking, says right there on the back
take a
right
look at
leg.
the Wikipedia site. See what.
Look
what
at
they
inside.
got
There it
going on.
is. Inside the Dog Park Inn.
Yeah.
The dog.
So
Bark
you can
Park
actually
Inn.
go and stay there.
Yeah.
The bed and breakfast.
Wow.
It opened in 2003.
Do they
bed
have
and
just
breakfast.
one, or are there multiple beagles?
You're asking the wrong person.
Okay.
It's a
Facilities
gift shop
there.
and the gallery of chainsaw artists. Oh, tough. Dennis Sullivan and Francis Conklin. Many breeds of dog
Texas.
Oh, what did it
carvings.
say there?
Oh, many
Floor
breeds of
count
dog
2,
carvings
number of
are
rooms
prominently
1.
featured. Yep.
Oh,
Number of
cool.
rooms,
So there's
one.
not just
Owner is Dennis Sullivan and Francis Conklin.
Yep.
Oh, are those the art? Oh, they're
number
the,
of
are they the
rooms
owners
one.
as well.
Joe, just go down just a little bit.
Okay.
Number of rooms 1. Number of
Suites.
one.
So it must be
Parking is
just a-
off street.
Well, that's good to
So
know.
you
It's
can
good to
just.
know.
wonder if they have,
that's
um,
interesting.
Invalidate my
Or if they
parking.
have alternative parking there.
Probably
The
not.
name of
Alternate side.
the name of the dog is Sweet Willie.
Oh, cool.
Not Spot.
No.
All right. In Idaho, you can eat an ice cream potato. I don't even know what that means.
Did you know that in
Yep.
ice cream commercials,
Yep.
they use
Yeah.
mashed potatoes so it won't melt?
Yeah, you said that once. I
Said
think
that
that's
probably
a
3 or
little
4
bit
times.
That's okay.
Mesocyte
Good
That's
was-
knowledge.
okay.
Bring it back.
A lot of
you know?
people.
You're like a 60s bit, you know,
Little
actor.
Pull toy.
No, bit actor.
I'm the
where
same
where you're
guy
the next episode, you're back in again because
Yep.
people forgot.
Hey, there's
That guy again.
no. Does that thing?
The movie Napoleon Dynamite was filmed in Idaho.
Oh, right.
I think the creator, the director, and everything. I think he was from Idaho. I think that was the high school he went
You
to.
had a little line there just a few minutes ago.
sure did.
Yvette from
Yvette,
Napoleon
okay.
Dynamite. That maybe flew by you.
Idaho has an almost perfect ratio of 1 man to 1 woman.
Wow.
So
What's
that's
their
kinda-
population? Do you know?
Don't know.
Oh,
Idaho grows a significant amount of the United States lentils.
Wow.
Bet you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Lentils are kind of beans, right?
No.
nuts? No, they're
Are
different
there
from nuts.
I
legumes?
thought they're like onion.
Yeah, I think they're
legumes.
Which are
legumes.
Oh, I'm way off. Yeah.
Which
Lentils
are so are peanuts.
like peanut type.
Legumes.
I mean, I remember we had lentil soup at a
Yeah,
restaurant that
yeah.
I worked in. It was a Jewish deli.
Oh, lentils.
Lentil.
yeah,
It's like
I'm
a
way off.
So it
like
is a
pea
legume.
type.
Legume.
Oh,
Like
Cook's
a
Kitchen.
bean.
I got Cook's Kitchen there. We used to watch that.
You said peanut, but
No, I said bean.
legume. Yeah.
I
Oh, you
said
did.
a
Yeah.
legume.
Yeah.
I said like
Yeah.
a peanut.
Yeah.
The
I don't
largest
really care
producer
what it is,
is
I just wanna know
Canada,
if it's a
producing
carb.
45% of the world's
Yeah, it's a
total
legume.
lentils.
High fiber,
Which would make
complex
sense 'cause it's right-
carbohydrates.
Idaho is right
It
below
is, right?
Canada.
Right betwixt it.
Well, that's good. I didn't know that. Lots of good things.
Yeah, Ernest Hemingway is buried in Ketchum Cemetery.
No,
in
he's
Idaho.
not.
Sure is. Look it up. Prove it. And then we got one more fun fact. Depending on how you want to pronounce this, Sacagawea
Yeah,
or
right here. Ketchum,
Sacagawea.
Idaho, July 2nd.
He,
19 days
he
before
committed
his birthday.
suicide,
Yeah.
and they buried him there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we
Oak
we
Park, Illinois.
Yep. We don't want to keep interrupting you because
That's
these
all
are
right.
so
The
fascinating.
last one I have here is Sacagawea or Sacagawea, depending on how you want to pronounce that.
Wow.
I don't know. I wonder what Idahoan
Idahoans.
would pronounce it as.
We'll
but
probably
pronounce
pronounce
it
it
fine,
exactly
it's
the way
just-
you did because you have
just
a
they don't have
neutral
an
accent.
that's very
You really
true.
do.
That's true.
Yeah.
She
For the
was
most part.
she was born there in Idaho, apparently.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah. All right. Some weird laws here.
Oh, yes.
Now I'll kind of go through some of these quick. I got one that I got some good history on. So, bicycles are not allowed in the tennis courts.
On the tennis course.
So it said, it is illegal not to smile in public. Here's a little history on this. In 1948, the mayor of the city of Pocatello, George Phillips, passed an ordinance making it illegal not to smile in Pocatello. The Smile Ordinance was passed tongue-in-cheek as a result of an exceptionally severe winter, which had dampened the spirit of city employees and citizens alike. The ordinance unintentionally remained on the books and was discovered by staff and later by a local reporter who wrote an article appearing in 1987 in the Idaho State Journal. So
Wow.
I think sometimes that's what happens with these laws is they
It's
get
just a random-
it's just
Yeah.
something goofy
Yeah.
and then they just get left on the books.
Yep.
And then it's kind of you
I
know
wonder how they get it off the books then.
right. It is illegal to lead an animal on a sidewalk.
He has to go behind you. Oh no, he has to go. In
That
front
would be
of you.
leading it.
Yeah.
So that's illegal. Dirt may not be swept from one's house into the street. Don't know why that is.
Are they
Maybe they don't
breaking
have
that?
street
Are they
sweepers.
breaking it down?
Sometimes
Like,
I
are
think
they-
these
like,
rules are tough.
They're laws.
Well, they're tough because what they can do, what maybe police officers can do, and I'm not trying to call them shady, but like they can pull somebody over or do something if they're doing one of these laws because they're interested in them for some other reason, and there can be a reason to break that law.
yeah.
Like you're not supposed to have, I think in Wisconsin, you're not supposed to have one of those air freshener things on your rear view mirror thing,
Oh yeah.
but
Because it's
nobody
like,
picks you up on that because it's
Where are you supposed
but
to
if
put
you
it?
would, well, that's what I'm saying is that.
That's what you're trying to say.
But
No, that's
what I'm trying to say is that a police officer could pull you over. So
Yeah.
if you're doing something, you know,
A
you're
technicality.
yeah,
If
exactly.
he sees you and he thinks that guy's doing
He or
something
she.
sketchy, let me not.
I'd
I
be
don't want to
that. I'd be
discriminate.
that cop. I'm saying I'd be the one that just
You
That's what
would
I'd be
be the
looking-
one that picks really obscure
be looking
rules
for.
and pull them
Oh,
over.
okay, gotcha.
Yep.
But I was going
Section.
90. You didn't pull me over because I was going 90? No, the air, the tree. That's what I
And
meant.
then
actually
you
saw
get
you.
prosecuted for the 90
Yeah, that's
and the bank robbery
You know
you
what I
just
would
committed.
definitely do? You know what I'd
And-
definitely do then? Throw the book at him.
That'd be smart.
Anyway, sorry.
You are not allowed to sleep in a dog kennel unless you're a dog.
No.
That just makes common sense. Snakes have been banned from biting humans on a Sunday, except when it's snowing.
Are they even alive when it's snowing? Like,
Oh.
aren't they hibernating?
I mean, they're alive. That would be hybrid. Yeah, they're around.
Said the wrong word.
I mean, the words have meaning, Hudson.
Okay, okay.
You were making fun of him.
Yeah,
about,
I would never.
Yeah, that was always Hudson. You could dish it out.
He could dish it out.
Never
You
take
can never take it.
All right, another 4 here. It is illegal for anyone over the age of 88 to ride a motorcycle. Some of these are city specific, not just Idaho and the state. You can't buy or sell chickens after sundown without the sheriff's permission in one of the cities.
That would be good for nowadays because of how expensive eggs are.
Eggs are, yeah. Yep.
Doing some back alley transactions with some chickens.
Yeah, unless you got the
That's good
sheriff's
they
permission.
They don't have any of their eggs after dark.
Oh,
Makes sense.
well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. You collect them in the morning.
Yep.
These last two are tied together. Residents are not permitted to fish from a giraffe's back.
You don't even know.
You also may not fish on a camel's back. I wonder if somebody was fishing on a giraffe's back. They brought it along.
Where do you get a camel from? From the zoo?
You don't
I
even
know,
know who to call to check on the
that's
driver.
Yeah. But they said, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing fishing from a giraffe's back?" So
No
they made a
zebras this
law.
time.
They made a law, and then the next day he was fishing on a camel's
A
back.
camel.
I would think.
Guy's resourceful.
I would think fishing on a
Giraffe's back.
giraffe's back would be tough because I think they're kind of angled.
Yeah. You have to have really good calves to hold you
I
up.
think they do. Check riding a giraffe. I think they have pictures of them. I think people do it.
Well, I think they do. I
2.5
don't just
minutes.
not, you don't
It'd be
bareback.
tough to get up there.
Bareback, you wouldn't want to be.
Well, thanks. As we look this up.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
Oh, there you go.
There it
Yeah,
is.
see, look at
There
it.
oh, I guess you did do
Yeah,
bareback.
I've seen it
Yeah.
before.
Does that have a saddle?
Click on it, Joe.
Well, this one
They
does,
might.
but some of them are bareback in it.
Wow.
weird.
Somebody once asked, how
That's not right.
would a giraffe wear a tie?
This
Would it
one's
be
not.
right up here by its Adam's
Down
apple or
here.
down all
Yeah.
the way down here?
Yeah.
We have just another 2
Minute,
minutes
yeah.
here, and I want to thank you and bless you boys for being here. And we're very thankful that Ryan was able to be here, otherwise known as Dash.
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan. And we also want to thank the Historical Society for having us, being so kind. And we're going to be having guests. And
1855
Coffee House. We're going to be down there. We want to thank Roy from Elroy making a stop up
Guest
here.
appearance.
And
His very busy schedule.
his very busy schedule, going to the bathroom,
Yeah,
eating, and going to the bathroom, and eating, and going to the
and
bathroom, and
whining.
taking
And
naps and
whining.
whining.
Yep.
Yep.
and sleeping.
So that's it for the 40 seconds.
Yeah. There you have it. Dad just ended it. So
Oh,
we'll see you on episode 43.
wow.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and
Comment and
comment
do all
and
that
share.
good stuff.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
You really
Good
are
work.
doing a good job.
Laters. Are you dying to see more content like that? Check out the video over here or subscribe over here. Thanks.